Hello everyone, welcome to another thrift store finds video, and today ended up being an insane media haul. We got the usual books from the half price day book sale, but I also got a massive stack of Blu-rays and DVDs, including a bunch of sealed DVDs and Blu-rays, a whole bunch of VHS, half of those are sealed, just a ton of stuff, a LaserDisc, some CEDs, all kinds of stuff. So let's start with the VHS first. First up, a copy of Scream 2, and every time I pick up a copy of one of the Scream movies on VHS, it sells, especially when you can do like bargain bin prices. It's worth grabbing. Predator 1 and 2, and hopefully these are both, they seem to be in good, at least physical condition. If they're both in really good, equal working condition, these will be a really good lot just to put up two more common movies, but put them up like that, they'll sell. The Incubus, I have no idea what this horror movie is, but that's usually a good sign with horror movies. Usually if it is a weird, interesting looking horror movie on an older format like VHS, I'll tend to pick it up. If it, something obscure. Prototype X29A, another one of those weird things that have been on a whole lot of YouTube videos over the years. So another quirky B thing that will have its audience out there. We have Blackjack, starring Dolph Lundgren. And these, I was hoping they'd have Volume 1, but I found in the bins Episode 2 and 3 of Creation Celebration. It's a Christian video series, but I don't think they ever made it to like DVD or anything like that. They're a little bit harder to find, so they tend to go for a little bit of a higher value, especially if you have a couple of them together. So that was worth grabbing in the bargain bins. And then last couple ones, these were all bargain bins, all the VHS. This, I can't believe this is a real thing, but Flesh Gordon 2. There's a Flesh Gordon 2? Just unbelievable. I might just for like curiosity's sake check this out, because like what the heck is, if you don't know, Flesh Gordon was a pornographic spoof of Flash Gordon. Much more elaborate effects and things like that than in just a standard porno tape type thing. One of those that a lot of people watched for the humor. It was like a comedy with a lot of pornographic elements, and so I'm wondering what the heck number 2 is. I'm looking on the back, and there's some like legitimate sci-fi sets and creatures and stuff in here, and I might just out of curiosity, I don't know why that exists, but check that out. A sealed copy of Once Upon a Time in China 2, and yeah, just a bunch of sealed VHS were in there. Jason the Argonauts, the Columbia 75th anniversary. This is the later cover, the animated one that was on LaserDisc and VHS for a while. Best of the Best 2, also a sealed one here. And a sealed copy of Air Force One, a great Harrison Ford movie, one that I really enjoyed, got to see in theaters. So that was already fantastic. I couldn't believe I found that many decent pickup VHS in just one bin, mostly within the bargain bins, and a bunch of sealed stuff. That's great. Then we move into DVD and Blu-ray, and this was a mix of the bargain bin and half price day sale, but mostly the bargain bin. And again, a bunch of sealed stuff. First we have The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's like a 4-disc DVD and Blu-ray collection. So Shack Out in 101. I don't know what this movie is, but it seems interesting, and it is an Olive Films release on Blu-ray. Sealed copy of Shakes the Clown on Blu-ray. A bunch of Warner Archive and other type stuff here. We have Warner Archive, Woman Against Woman. And we have Legend of Cougar Canyon. And from the MGM Midnight Movies double feature, we have What's the Matter with Helen and Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. Never heard of either of these, but they look pretty interesting. Kind of cool covers there. And then the rest are all sealed. And there's another stack to get through as well. Those are not all sealed, but just crazy. More Warner Archive. We have James Cagney in Winner Take All. From the Fox Cinema Archives, we have Whispering Ghosts. Then we have Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, sealed with an old, is that a Barnes & Noble or Border sticker on there? 25th anniversary edition of War Games, This is a good 80s movie. That's also sealed. Westworld, the old Snapper case release, and it has an old Tower Records sticker on there as well. Then we have Gene Wilder and The World's Greatest Lover. Another, I can't believe it, picking these up. Outrageous Fortune. This also has an old Tower Records sticker there. And Turner Classic Movies, Moguls and Movie Stars, A History of Hollywood. And this looks like it's a collection that comes with a 3-disc set and a booklet, and pretty interesting. And yeah, I couldn't believe all that stuff I was finding. Then we have Simon and Garfunkel, Concert in Central Park. One of these Left Behind movies. I didn't realize there were so many of these movies. With Kirk Cameron, World at War. How many of these are there? We have The Apple Dumpling Gang, Don Knotts movie, Disney. Narrated by Ringo Starr, we have The Point. I vaguely remember this. Just seeing this cover, I don't really remember what goes on, but I know I've at least seen that cover before when I was a kid. I think I've probably seen it before. The complete 7th season of Home Improvement. A Superbit Deluxe of The Mask of Zorro. And as much as I like a lot of the older Zorro movies, I still think this is one of the best ones and is easily my favorite. The sequel to this was horrible, unwatchable, but this one is really cool, and this is one of the Superbit Deluxe where they kept it's the normal Superbit, single DVD, but then they added back in things like special features and that kind of stuff by having a second disc. So we have disc 1 and 2. Cool. To check out, and let's see, this also includes disc 1, the Superbit version of the movie, so slightly better than the regular old DVD. I have to compare, actually, out of curiosity, because I love this movie. This is probably one of my favorite adventure, action movies of all time, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is amazing in this, and Antonio Banderas, but I have to compare because I have the regular DVD and the Blu-ray and a LaserDisc, and see how the Superbit DVD compares those different versions. It'll be kind of interesting. And disc 2 has an exclusive documentary, deleted scenes, filmographies, music video, photo galleries, trailer, all kinds of stuff. So it takes care of one of the problems that people had with Superbit, where it's like, okay, you have a slightly better DVD, but you get rid of all the special features, and then Superbit Deluxe add those back in by having a second disc. This is one of the most exciting things that I found today. I'm really happy about this. This one's definitely for me. The director's cut of the finale of Xena Warrior Princess. I've always wanted to see this. I've never seen it. Really, really cool. It has additional footage, and it plays out I forget how many extra minutes there are, but it basically combines the last, the finale of Xena, makes it this long movie version of it, and that's how it was approached at the time. Like Rob Tappert talks about in a lot of the behind the scenes. I remember from the old, the DVD sets, when I was looking through all of those, he had mentioned how that's kind of how he approached the end of Xena. He's like, this is my Xena movie. This is how we're going to film it. This is how we're setting it up. We're going to approach it as if it's a movie, and this is like the ultimate presentation of that. So that would be really, really cool. There's a special director's cut, additional footage, 30 minutes of unseen behind-the-scenes footage, a commentary with Lucy and Renee, photo gallery, and a Xena screensaver. So there you go. But yeah, I've always wanted to see this and check that out, because that's one of my favorite shows of all time, and really, really fascinating. I love the final episode as well, so this would be really, really cool to see. And then some TV stuff. We have Get Smart Season 1 on DVD. And the first season, I forget if it's the first one. It's been a long time since I've seen any Get Smart, on probably Nick at Night or something like that. But Mel Brooks he wrote a lot in season 1, I think, 1 and 2. If you're a big Get Smart fan, let me know. I can't remember, but I know he was involved with season 1. I can't remember how long he was involved with the show, but I do remember seeing reruns of that on TV. Bewitched, the complete 7th season. Then we have Beverly Hills Cop 2, we're on DVD that. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and like a lot of the older DVD sets of a lot of 60s TV shows, they did this with Lost in Space and a whole bunch of those, Time Tunnel, where it's season 1, volume 1, because there were so many episodes. It used to be a TV show might have 30 something episodes in a season, and then eventually the normal became like 22 or 24 was kind of the normal, and now we're down to 8 is a normal season of a TV show. Like, what, I don't know what's happened, but yeah, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and this is really cool. And I think from what I've seen, at least, I think the earlier seasons are probably better. And Time Tunnel Volume 1, really cool. I always like this cover. I think this is the same cover that is on the LaserDisc release. I think that was a Japan only one. But Time Tunnel, cool 60s sci-fi series. That includes, I think, just about half of the entire run of the show on here too. Yeah, 765 minutes. Yeah, so it's like half the entire show. So it's a really cool box set. A random Farscape volume from season 2, 2.1. So the first, those ADV releases. And we're still going. A Stargate Atlantis comic book. I've never seen an Atlantis comic book. Neither of us are really big comic book people, so never really been into it. But cool, at least give it a read. And they'll probably end up on the store because, again, not really comic people, but grab that. This is really cool. I've never had a chance to read this. Raymond Chandler, The Big Sleep, but as a big fan of Bogart and Bacall, I've of course seen the movie many, many times, so I might have to give that a read. And then picked up some general fiction at the half-price book sale. It's like 50 cents a pop. Find the kind of stuff that is going to sell on various formats. The usual stuff. If you watch my channel all the time, you see it particularly on Wednesdays. There's a certain variety of books that show up. That type of fiction. Always nice when I find something that is a set that will definitely sell better than individually. One Stephen King hardcover of The Stand. And then still 3 more really cool pickups because I took an extra trip out to find something. I was looking for something for my sister's birthday, and I went to a shop that sells like vinyl records, and they sell some movies and music and that kind of different variety of that kind of stuff, but they're mostly like records and CDs and cassettes. That's their main stuff. But because the guy goes around and gets these huge lots sometimes of records, sometimes there are LaserDiscs or CEDs and what he buys, so he does sell them. I try to occasionally stop by a few times a year because it doesn't change over very much. He doesn't seek those out. They just kind of, if they come to him with big lots of records and things, he'll have them. So it doesn't change a lot. But I try to, a few times a year, head out there and just see what's there. And there were a couple of things that were worth grabbing. I only grabbed one LaserDisc. He probably had like 20 or 30, but and they were only $3 a piece. That's a thing too, because it just kind of obtains them. It doesn't really seek them out. They're really cheap. The LaserDiscs are usually $3 a piece, and the CEDs are $1 a piece. So if you're into that, it's a good place to go. I picked up one that he had, again, $3 a piece, good, but a lot of just generic stuff I didn't care about, or something I had on DVD and I didn't really need a second copy of, and that kind of thing. But from the Lucy collection on LaserDisc, picked that up. I couldn't resist that for $3. We have 4 episodes of I Love Lucy. Lucy's Italian movie, Lucy does a TV commercial, the fashion show, and job switching. So 4 really famous episodes. I mean, Lucy does a TV commercial, and job switching are probably the 2 that are included in just about everything. I don't even know how many copies I have of those 2 in particular, because they're always included in all these different sets, even if it's like an extra or something. They're just everywhere, those 2. But it's really cool to get a 4 set, because Lucy, I have the Criterion collection on LaserDisc, and then they released a handful of these volumes of just a few collections episodes. I think they did like 4 or 5 off the top of my head. Different selections of episodes, volume 1, so that's really cool to grab on LaserDisc. And I mentioned they also have CEDs there, and they've had a lot for a long time, even at that $1 a piece, because they're in like one little section nicely stacked, and then the rest are in the corner, and they're stacked on top of each other in a way that the discs on the bottom are just no good. They're going to be crushed. I don't know why they would do that. It's a vinyl record store. They know. I don't know, whatever. But he has them back there, and I look through occasionally. There are still 2 things I'm looking for in that format. Blade Runner, which I never seem to find, and Mary Tyler Moore Show. They did 1 volume of that. It's even called Volume 1. They were going to do more, but CED didn't last very long, so they stopped. But those are 2 I'm looking for. Didn't find those. And even for resale purposes, CED is really hard, because it is very niche. And there wasn't anything like a really obscure horror, sci-fi, that kind of stuff will do really well. Some real iconic movies. There are still collectors out there, just very, very few, and a lot of them have just about everything. But there were two completely sealed, brand new in their packaging CEDs. I have one that I came across, a copy of El Cid, Sophia Loren, that it's up on my store right now if you're interested, that I found a long time ago. And I found two more, and even the plastic is one or two little rips. It's really good condition, and it's just cool to even see a CED still in its packaging. Like, this is pure white, there's no yellowing or anything like that. Amazing. But a Star 80, and this is a video movie that I've come across on VHS, and I've sold that before, so this is really, really cool. So this is definitely going up on the store for $1. This is well worth picking up. And then from the 80s, hard bodies. And I have this in one of my 80s collections. It's like a teen beat type thing. So really, really cool. I couldn't believe two sealed CEDs. Amazing. So for $1 a piece, okay, I went and I grabbed those. Crazy amount of stuff today, and how many different formats, and I couldn't believe, sealed VHS, sealed DVDs, a sealed Blu-ray, sealed CEDs. Like, what in the world? All this sealed media. This was a crazy morning. I was very, very happy with what I found, and I was only out and about for like not even 3 hours too for all of this. So that is really, really good. And most of this was like bargain bins at Goodwill. I think all the VHS in total was like $7, including all the sealed ones. Crazy. Really, really good morning. Fantastic. I hope you guys are also having a great week, and I'm going to get to making sure all these stickers are off and testing VHS and just having fun.